So I'm by a big window. I'm also by a washer and dryer, and I'm also in a house. So I can't control whether there's noise outside, whether you hear beeping from the washer and dryer, or if someone walks in the background or makes some noise. So just let you know. Hey YouTube, 𝚆𝙴𝙻𝙲𝙾𝙼𝙴, and I'm back with another video. I know y'all see it. I know y'all see it. Yes, I got my hair done. Anyways, but it's not looking as good as it did when I first got it done because I've been laying down because I've been tired all day. But I will put in some clips of it actually looking good because that stuff was looking good. And it's also like really long for like no reason. I did not know it was this long, but it is. But yeah, this is just the style. My edges was looking good. So but anyways, that's not what the video is about. This video is about some 8th grade stories. I've been like not really putting off this video, but I've been planning to do this video for like ever since I did the 7th grade middle school stories basically. But yeah, I'm finally doing it. Before we get into it, I want to give you guys a little update or whatever about my uploading schedule. I'm thinking it's Monday and Thursday because I've been doing that kind of consistently for like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So I'm thinking that's my upload schedule every week, that I'll upload Monday and Thursdays. Let me know if that's good for you guys. It's good for me. It's working for me, so I'm fine with it. So let me know what you think about that. But without further ado, we're gonna get into these middle school stories. I think it's about 5, 6, or 7, I don't know, between them. So it might be a little long, but we're just gonna get into it. So the first story is not necessarily like a story. It's more like just an ensemble of like short stories basically. But the whole theme per se is basically what I did a lot in 8th grade. So I will give everyone who went to 8th grade with me that's watching this video, I don't know if you are or not, but you know, if you're watching this video and you went to 8th grade with me, I'll give you like a second to think about what I constantly did in 8th grade. So if your answer was falling, congrats, you got it right. Now I know a lot of people that went to 8th grade with me might have thought I did it on purpose. I honestly only fell on purpose like maybe 3 times out of like 100. So that's the scale we're on here. I never really fell on purpose because a lot of the times when I did fall, I hurt myself. But I just have a couple of stories about me falling, so let's just get into it. Okay, so the main classes where I really fell a lot was probably like 5th and 6th period. It's not really a coincidence. I mean, we're just gonna say it's a coincidence that I also had crushes in each of those classes, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about the time I fell in 6th period actually, because I can't really remember specific times in 5th period when I fell, but I do remember 6th period. Yeah, so in 6th period there was this one day where basically in this class we had 2 different sides. So like one was a side with a whole bunch of desks and the other one was a side with a whole bunch of desks, and then we have an aisle, right? So that's basically where everyone really walked. So I think I was either sitting on the front area or the way back area. I think it was the way back area because that's where I was walking, but it was the way back area of this side. And I was walking down the aisle, right? And it was like the end of the day, so everybody was just not paying attention and whatever. And I was just walking, and then my friend Cameron, if you don't know Cameron, then where have you been? But my friend Cameron, he had this drawstring bag, right? I don't know what was happening, like someone was holding it across the other end, but he was like sitting on this side, like at the end desk right here. And he was like, the strings were out, and I was trying to step over it. And I don't know if he moved it or I just did a bad job of stepping over it, but I ended up like splatting to the floor. I don't understand, but I did. Yeah, that's the first story of me falling, and all of them are generally like that. Not really. Sometimes, well, most of the time I usually just fall on air, but yeah. So the final story I'm gonna tell about me falling is just me. This is actually really funny because I swear I didn't mean to do this. This was like the worst thing ever. But basically, I had a crush, right? Him and like his friends had a certain time during lunchtime where they would just go out and go to the bathroom. Don't ask me how I know this. Anyways, so basically, usually when they would go out, I would go out because I also like someone else who we would go out there with, and I would mainly mess with that person who I like, not the main person who I went out there for. But I would go out there to mess with that person because we were just like that. So the one time I came out there, I was running, right? So like you leave out the cafeteria and there's this huge hall, and then there's like the wall right here, right? So I was running, right? Running, and there's a water fountain. That's where I was running to, right? Yeah, you're following along? Yeah. Okay. So there's a water fountain and I'm running, and there's water on the floor. Somehow my dumb self doesn't see it, right? So, you know, you can put two and two together. I was running and I slipped on water and fell on my back. So clearly that was all my fault. Somehow I didn't see the water, but I kind of get it because water's clear, and you know, those glossy school floors. Yeah, so that's what happened. Both of my crushes saw it. It's just perfect. We love that. But it was okay because both of them knew I fell a lot for like no reason. Like it wasn't my fault, but they knew I fell a lot, so it was okay. Okay, so I think this next story is something that like made me like super happy at the time for like no reason, but okay, so here's the story. Basically, I had this one friend, and it wasn't like for a while, but before that day that I'm going to be talking about, he kept asking for my socials. I don't know what my response was. Obviously, it was probably like something along the lines like, not now, since he didn't get it at the time. But we're gonna be talking about the day, right? So basically, we're like in, I think, so this is how our schedule works. We go from like 5th for a little bit, like we're not even in 5th period, we just go inside the class, put our stuff down, and then go to 4th period. So that's how it works. I'm sorry that the alarm keeps going off. Anyways, so that's how it works. We go in 5th period, drop our stuff off, then go to 4th period, and then come back to 5th period after lunch. So yeah, that's how it works basically. So we had 5th and 4th period together. So I think we were in 4th period when he started asking for my socials. And the reason I didn't just give it to him, because if I could, I would have just given it to him because it wasn't that big a deal. The reason I didn't is because I'm like insecure about my usernames or whatever. So that's why I didn't just like give it to him right away. So yeah, that was just weird of me. I could have really just given it to him, but I didn't. But anyways, so then we go back to the 5th period. He's literally the whole entire time, like, I'm walking by his desk because that's where like our books and stuff are at, and he's asking for it again. Like he's asking for it the whole entire class period, right? So basically, then I get to a point where I'm walking by his desk, right? He asks for me again. I was like, okay, why don't you just write it down like on a piece of paper, and then give it to me, and then I'll follow you and add you or whatever, and then you can add and follow me back, right? So that's what happened. So then he just, I guess, wrote his stuff down whenever he did, and then at the end of class, so he sat over here and I sat on the other side of the class. So at the end of class, he walked all the way over to where my desk was and gave me like a little folded up piece of paper with his Instagram and Snapchat. Now, it's not that bit of a significant story. It's just the funny part that my friends thought it was like a love letter type of thing. It was weird. That's why I was so happy, because it was so funny. Like, it was a funny situation that my friends were like going crazy. Like, oh my god, y'all are so cute. Like, girl, he just gave me his Instagram and Snapchat. Calm down, sit down.
I think the real reason it made me happy was because it seemed like someone actually made like an effort, and they actually seemed like interested in, like, I don't know, like having a conversation and just talking to me in general. This also may have been my downfall into liking him.
You feel me? So yeah, that's just a simple story. It's I don't know why I remember that. Ooh, now we're about to get into the fight. No, I didn't get into a fight. If you thought I did, I would have been told a story time about that if I got into a fight, but too bad I wasn't good at tissues. Anyways, so we're about to talk about a fight that happened during lunch. Now at my school, I would say that we had a lot of fights. Definitely, it was funny because it was like 1 week and it was literally 10 fights. 10 fights in one single week. And it was like what? Not even just in our grade though. It was like 2 fights out of our grade. But like, oh my gosh, 10 fights in 1 week. But anyways, so we'll talk about one specific fight, which is not during that week. It was a whole different time. But it was funny. It's not that big of a story because it's nothing involving me. But it was just a funny story that I want to tell. So basically, it kind of just happened like out of nowhere. But basically what happened? Well, we were just eating lunch, right? And next thing you know, everyone starts running to the door. So like our cafeteria was like the cafeteria and then there's a door to go outside because we had to go outside. But our anyways, everybody started running to the door and I was like, what's happening? Because I've never seen anything like that where everyone just started running someplace. And I'm like, is everybody okay? So I was like, what's happening? And then someone beside me, like one of my friends, they were like, it's probably fight or something like that. I was like, who is fighting? So obviously I was like running up there too to see it. But sadly I didn't get to see it like face to face. Because it was a whole crowd. Like we had like 1,000 people in 8th grade. They were right there. Anyways, so I didn't get to see the fight, but it was funny. Like I saw the fight on camera and it was a good fight, like to say the least. For someone who's only seen one fight at the time, it was a good fight. This is not a very easy thing to talk about. This was like one of the only times that I cried because of somebody at school. Like I cried at school multiple times, but it was never something involving someone directly in that school. This is the first time I've ever done anything like that. So this is a story involving a crush that I had, right? He was in my homeroom, which was also my 6th period, but whatever. So basically, I think like the day before this happened, I wrote him a note. I was gonna confess that I liked him because I do that. If you didn't know, I do that, but I only do it to the point where I feel like they won't reject me, because like why would you give someone a note having feelings that they're going to reject you? But him, I didn't feel that way. So yeah, I wrote the note like the day before, a few days, I don't know, but sometime during that week. So this day was on a Friday. So I was gonna give him the note. I don't know when. I think I plan to do it at the end of the day, because my thing is, if I'm gonna give you a note, I try to do it at a time period where I'm not gonna see you directly after I do that. Like I try not to give people notes in the morning time because I'll probably end up seeing them. Okay, I don't know where it left off, but it was like I plan to do it at the end of the day. So we get to the end of the day, and I don't know if I showed all my friends before that. I probably did. Knowing me, I probably did. But in this class, I had Cameron, my friend Wendy. I had some other friends, but I don't think they were really involved as much as Cameron and Wendy. So basically, I had the note, right? And I planned to give it to him. And he was a car rider, okay? So he was a car rider, right? So I planned to give it to him before they called car riders. And when they called him, I was like, oh my god, I can't do it. I can't do this. Because I was like having like a panic attack. I was like, I cannot do this. We're going to lose our friendship. And it was like one of the most cherished friendships I had in 8th grade for like no reason. I just enjoyed having him around. He made me happy for like no reason. But we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, so I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. I'm going to literally ruin our friendship. Yeah. But then in the end, I think it was either Cameron or Wendy that took the note from me and ran after him and gave it to him. And y'all don't even know, I bawled my eyes out because I was like, oh my gosh, he's never gonna want to talk to me again, because I was just so used to that from like my crushes just distancing themselves from me. Like multiple of my crushes did that to me. Well, I didn't have multiple, like 2 of them.
So I think the main reason why I was really sad and scared of losing our friendship, because it was like late 2019 when this happened, and I just came out of a time period of literally being the loneliest I've ever been besides like now. So I was really scared that I was going to get back to that point and I was going to start losing friends.
They did that to me in 8th grade, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want this to happen to him. You feel me? But yeah, I'm not gonna get into the finishing result because that's like, I want to do a video about all my crushes that I had. I don't know if middle school in general or just 8th grade. I didn't have a lot in 8th grade, but like I probably had a lot in middle school to the point where it would be too long. But anyway, so yeah, that's the story about giving the note to my crush. So I wrote all my stories down. I didn't like explain them in detail because I knew like if I read the title or whatever, then I would understand. So the title of this one is Orange in the Bag. So if you went to 8th grade with me and you made it this far and you were one of my close friends, I don't know, or if you're one of the boys in my 5th period class, then you probably know this story. But you probably don't remember because it's not that significant, but whatever. So basically, I think this day I saved an orange, or someone else's orange was in my bag, I can't remember. But basically after lunch we're supposed to go outside, which is what me and my friends did every single day. So we were outside. We usually go out there sometime after the time that this group of boys, it involved like 1 or 2 of my crushes, like one of my like huge crushes and another guy that I just like thought was cute. I didn't like him really, I just thought he was kind of cute. But so yeah, so the one that we're talking about today is, so basically we were outside and I was messing with my friend. I kept like scaring her, like I kept like just doing like and then she got scared, and then she's like and then she's like one of those friends who like act like she's gonna beat you up or something like that. So she was one of those friends, but like she was like generally scary, like to the point where you would think she really would beat you up. Like she wasn't those friends that acted like they were but never did. Like she would literally like beat you up. Yeah. So basically so yeah, I just kept doing it to her, and then she kept making it seem like she was gonna beat me up, so I was getting a little scared. So I did like one last time. So wait, so I just kept doing it, and then I kept like doing mini runaways, but then I did like one last time, and I think her reaction was like really big. So I literally, so the area where we walk around is a huge rectangle area, right? It's a huge rectangle. We were like right here, and I scared her, and I ran literally all the way around. So on this side of the rectangle, over here is like the parking lot area. So I was running this way, right? And this is where the group of boys, one of them including, were at. So I ran past them kind of purposely to kind of flex in front of them. But whatever. We're not talking about it. Anyways, so yeah. So I ended up running, and then when I came back, which I think they were still on this side when I had came back, because yeah, they were. So when I came back, they had told me something about an orange or whatever, something about the orange, how it had fell out of my bag when I was running, and it fell into like the middle of the parking lot area. Like it was like the bus thingy, and it was like the middle of it. So they had told me that had went out into the thingy and picked up the orange, and I don't remember the rest of the story, so I'm sorry, but that was just the story. Obviously, clearly I have a boring life. I wish I had better stories. So this is like not really like a story, it's more like the falling thingy, but it's not really something that happened in school. It's just something that happened while I was in 8th grade. So I remember this day actually. I don't remember the date. I mean, I do, but like I can't remember it right at this second. I just know it was at the end of January. It was a Sunday. Yeah. So basically, the title of this one was Constantly Seeing public. So I know he himself most likely doesn't even remember all of these. He might remember one of them, but the other one I don't think he did because I don't think he saw me. So basically there were 3 times that I saw him in public that I know of, at least. Like I could have been in the same area but not know it. So one of the times I saw him at Target, another time was literally on my birthday, and I invited him to my birthday party, but he didn't come. But after my birthday party, we went skating, if you didn't know. After that, we went to 𝚆𝙴𝙻𝙲𝙾, which I don't know if that's everywhere, but I know it's in South Carolina. It's just a pizza buffet area. So we went there, and there's multiple of them. So I thought it was like kind of ironic that we happened to see each other at the same exact one. Yeah, but so yeah, I ended up seeing him there, and he saw me too. He didn't say we didn't say anything to each other, but like on the next day, which was Monday for school, we ended up like kind of talking about it, but not really. Like we acknowledged the fact that we saw each other there. I think I was the first one to notice. Like it was weird. So basically he was there for some baseball thingy, I don't know. Yeah, it was just so weird to me. And I was like a person who was like signs or whatever, or things aren't coincidences, it's always a meaning, a deeper meaning and stuff. So I was like, okay, the fact that I've seen this man in public 3 times. But let's talk about the other time. So the other time, I'll talk about the least important time. So that was the time I just saw him at some school event thingy. It wasn't at our school specifically, but it was like all of the all the 8th graders from the school in our district going to the high school where the high school we were gonna go to. We were just going there and looking around and doing looking at all the courses type of thing like that. So that one wasn't as big a deal, but the other one also wasn't a big deal. I feel like it wasn't as big as the 𝚆𝙴𝙻𝙾 thing, but it was still big. But basically it was a Sunday and we were sitting in the Target parking lot. So my mom has handicap, right? So she's handicapped and she has the little handicap thingy. So we park in the handicap, which is the very first one right in front of the Target. So we're sitting in there, you know how like you go and you park in the grocery store parking lot and you're just like sitting there for a while. Like you don't just get out immediately unless you're just in a rush. Ew. Unless you're just in a rush. So basically we were just sitting there like talking, kind of trying to get 𝚆𝙴𝙻𝙲𝙾 out of the car seat and everything. And next you know, I see this not little, I see this tall boy with a jacket on walking across the front of the parking lot. And I'm like, is that? Like I'm looking at him, I'm like, is that? And he's like walking with some lady. I'm guessing that's like his mom or something, I don't know. But he's walking and I was like, oh my god. And I was looking at my mom, I was like, Mom, it's like obviously I didn't say in itself because I called him by his first name back then. But yeah, I was like so we ended up like rushing to go inside after that. It was mainly me rushing to go inside because obviously, you know. Anyways, but basically, yeah, we ended up rushing to go inside and he was like at Starbucks the whole time. We were in like the dollar section area for a good while and we didn't like leave the dollar section area until like he happened to leave the Target. Like he just came in there and went to Starbucks and then just left out like a real boy. I'm just kidding. So yeah, so I don't think he noticed me there. Like I don't think like at all, because I feel like he would have made notice that he did that because he was that type of person. So I don't think he saw me there, but I saw him and yeah, that's how it worked. And ever since then I was looking in Target for some tall and I never found him. I'm just kidding, y'all. So yeah, we're just gonna get into one more story. So this story is not one that I originally planned to tell, but I was just thinking about how somebody who really wanted to watch this video wanted to hear stories about our 6th period. So I was gonna tell the story about how my teacher's pants fell down in class. That's the only one I could think of to tell right now. Like I'm sure I could tell more, but honestly the video would be way too long. It's probably too long now, so yeah. Anyways, so basically I don't really know how it happened because I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see his pants down until they were down. You feel me? All I know is he was in the front of the class teaching, and next you know, his pants fall down, and like I hear a little bit of chuckle, or he's like, oh my god. And then I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh my god, his pants fell down. Luckily it was just his pants, because everybody would have been traumatized. Nobody needs to see that. Luckily it was just his pants, and he wears like oversized shirts, so we were good, you know. We really didn't see nothing. So yeah, that was just a little tiny story. I'm sure there are more 8th grade stories I could have told that were pretty good, but these are just my personal experiences besides like the one with the fight. But yeah, these are just my personal experiences. Let me know if you want to hear some more 8th grade stories, because I'll probably have some more that are probably better than this. I did have another one I wanted to tell about Cameron. Anyways guys, so yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want another one. I'm gonna make a 6th grade one, I'm thinking, but I don't. You just told me to stay here. Anyways, I'm gonna make a 6th grade one, but I don't know if it's gonna be as good, because 6th grade was a long time ago and not a lot of stuff happened. But anyways, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be uploaded on Monday. Peace.